Hi there and welcome to Rose Sky Tarot. Now this reading is for Sagittarius for the 7th of January 2019 and it's a general reading so it may not suit everyone, but hopefully there's a message in here just for you. Okay, let's have a look at these top three cards. Now we have the Strength card, we have the Star in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Now, are you maybe harnessing all of the extreme emotions within you and bringing them all together into one to a balanced state so that you could be being courageous but with compassion, and you could be, showing how much you care in a controlled way. And you can integrate all of these things so that you can become balanced in the things that you approach. Now, and moving on to the Star in reverse, is there something that you're wanting to do and that you're trying very hard to look at it in a balanced way, but has maybe something within you began to get out of control a little bit because something here has made you feel that you're not good enough. Something has made you think that whatever it is that you're aiming for is never going to be achieved. It's going to be a dream that is never ever going to happen for you. Now, why is that happening? Because if you have focused so hard on doing this, then why do you think you're not good enough? Now, let's move on to the Seven of Wands in reverse. Is it maybe a defence mechanism? Are you maybe reacting to how difficult this may be? Are you maybe discouraged that it's not falling in your lap with the first little bit of effort? And it could be that you are defending your actions over this wish. But it's been an extreme reaction and you're overly or easily offended at how difficult this is being, and you're overreacting, and your defensiveness has possibly, due to the extreme feelings within you about this wish being difficult to attain, that has, your defensiveness possibly turned into assertiveness with a sense of aggression. Are you maybe looking for a fight in defence of pulling back from this? Because if you look for a fight, which is an extreme reaction to this, then could people possibly focus on that rather than the vulnerability that you're feeling because of this difficulty in reaching this wish? Okay, let's put these over to the side and we'll get started on the larger reading. Okay, Oh, messed up my cards. Hold on. There we go. Hopefully you can still see them all. Okay. Now it looks as though, since we're talking about wishes, that there is quite a lot of things that you're wishing would happen, that you have been dreaming about, that you have been focusing on. But the thing is that you've got so many, your imagination is running wild, that you've got so many things that you believe will, turn into reality, that you don't know which one to go for first. And I've just realised I haven't let you know what the cards are. It's the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. So, with having all of these options that you think are really viable, and you don't know which one would be best to go with first, or it could be that you want to do all of them. Now, that would be overstretching yourself because you're only one person. And it could be that you're trying to do too many different things. And the a phrase comes to mind that has just popped right out of my head. And it's something about being proficient in quite a lot of things, but you're not mastering any. And that is not the wording of the phrase, but that's the gist of it, because the phrasing has just went from my head. So you're not actually mastering any one thing. You're trying to do so many different things that you're maybe doing them well enough, but not good enough to master them. And, you're hoping that whatever it is that you're doing is going to give you a good life. Because you're hoping that, all the wealth and resources and comfort, and abundant settings, and this lush lifestyle will come from these ideas. And this is also about creating. So, you are pushing towards, a life with this, a good life with this, because you're creating something that can provide you with abundance, provide you with your money that that this lifestyle needs. And then moving on to the Queen of Swords, you've possibly taken advice on this, because you've got so many different things going through your head that you can lose focus on it, because which one is the best one? And it could be that you take advice on more than one of these ideas with someone who has experience in helping people to attain this wealthy lifestyle. Now let's move on. We have the Moon card in reverse, the Death card, and the Page of Pentacles. Now, could it be that the advice that you receive is helping you to open your eyes a little bit, to let you see the dangers that you could be walking into, because this person has the experience. They know where the dangers are going to be. And, so your eyes are opened more to what you're getting yourself into. And it could be that there are some ideas that you decide to, you know, not look into anymore, that you want to just drop that because you can see that it may not be beneficial in the long term. And you need to be practical because you want something that is going to give you real world results. You want this abundant lifestyle. There's no point in focusing on fantasies. You need the practical results. Because, this card is also about failure and avoiding troubles is something that, you need to do. You need to take advice on it. Because the things that you're trying to do and bring into the real world, the practical world, so that you can live off of it, there's a lot of challenges in it. And it could be that some of the experiences and dangers that go hand in hand with producing this life, is really, it's hidden. It's part of the secret of what it is you're doing. And that's the importance of advice. Now, and moving down to the next three cards, we have the King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Six of Swords. Sorry, I'm just going to jiggle these cards about because I think I'm moving them about the table too much. Okay. Now, apart from the practicalities of this venture, you need to be logical. You need to look at each one of these ideas and the advice you've been given and how practical it will actually be to give you this life that you're looking for. And it could be that you need to be honest with yourself and look at things logically. And it could be that, you see some of these ideas as an illusion, because your eyes have been opened and it's not all pie in the sky anymore. This is turning into a real thing. So you need to be logical in how you proceed, and that takes communication and advice and following the rules in order to make it practical in real life. And moving on to the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it could be that you want to follow people who have attained a high level in this. Could that possibly also be one of your dreams, that it's not a small thing that you want to do, you want it to be huge, you want it to be large. Because you want the abundance, you want this big business, because you want the most luxurious lifestyle that you can create. But the thing is that maybe pie in the sky? Is it maybe something that, may not be realistic. And it could be that, in aiming for this, or you may be having to, do things that are not how you would normally do things. Because this is about being reasonable and logical and truthful. But this is about putting out a false impression. So are you maybe pretending to be more successful than you are? But the thing is that this isn't the way that you want to do things. And it could be that, this situation that you've put yourself in isn't one that you want to keep going with. Because it isn't being truthful. You're pretending that you are this, extremely successful person. And although you are working towards it, you're not there yet. So it's something it's a situation that you don't want to continue with. So is it possible that you have maybe set your sights too high and that your logical side has kicked in to escape this high requirement? Because you could be just putting too much pressure on yourself. And has that been one of the pitfalls? Has that been where the advices came from, that, it's highlighting the troubles that you could get yourself into? And aiming too high too fast could definitely be one of them. And it will put you in a situation where you're get my words together, vulnerable. And putting yourself into a vulnerable position is not practical when you're trying to bring something into the real world, because you don't want the negative effects of it. So let's move on again, and we have the High Priestess, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Ace of Wands in reverse. Now, could it be that you have given up on this high level pursuit due to advice and, a strategy to help you find your feet in a more reasonable way initially? Because this is about new ventures, new beginnings. And it's about using the insight that you've received because all of these secrets that you've learned about how to work practically towards this business venture or whatever it may be, resource, into materialistic oh my goodness, my brain has just went to bring it into real life, that your eyes have been opened. So some of these secrets about whatever this venture is has been, taken away, and you're able to bring in the logical side of things with the strategy to make it work. But the thing is that there are people out there that feel that the actions that you're taking are something that um, you're only doing for yourself. That, you're not doing for the greater good or the good of the family. It's a false impression that that's what they're looking at. They're saying that you're only doing things for yourself. And it could be that, you know, so many arguments could come from that. And it could be that it does real damage to relationships. And, it could be that you do second guess yourself a little bit. Because, because of this action, are you maybe thinking that, you know, this could be a missed opportunity because what's more important? And that in itself isn't fair. And you're thinking that possibly how this person is feeling or the actions that they are portraying, they're not seeing things with the same logical eyes that you are. And, that they are pulling against you in what you're trying to achieve. Okay, I'm going to bring these other cards back in. Now we have the Strength card, the Star card in reverse, and the Seven of Wands in reverse. Now you're trying to control all of your emotions. You're trying to bring everything into balance. And there are extreme feelings that are within you, but you're trying your best to control them. That's all you can really ask. And you're aiming, you're being courageous and using your instincts, and you're trying to be compassionate, and you're trying to have a little bit of heart about how you go about things. And you could become discouraged because either things aren't going as fast for you, or you've kind of lost your faith in it a little bit, or you feel that whatever it is never ever going to be achieved. And this is something that you are very defensive over. And it could be that you want to fight for this dream. You don't want to overreact to the difficulties in attaining this dream. Could be that you're even looking for the fight now to use everything within your power. Because you don't want this to be a missed opportunity. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that there has been something in this reading that has sparked thoughts for you, even if it's just a different way of looking at it, and that there is some advice in there, something I've said has helped in some way. All right, now I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.